So I caught a cramp in my foot this evening, and so I've been doing a little work on it, and I decided that I was going to just come and sort of demonstrate for you all how to work a Charlie horse or cramp, out of your leg or your foot. And I've actually talked about this in a couple of videos where if you are ever experiencing a Charlie horse or experiencing cramps, that it's best to actually massage your ankle, first, especially if it's in the foot, massage your ankle, and then start to work on the area where there's a cramp. So I haven't fully worked mine out completely, so that's why I'm taking some time just to kind of do a demonstration. I'm going to lotion up my ankle here and my left foot, and I'll come over to my right foot as well. What I'm actually trying to do now is not just prevent this, stop the pain or so from the Charlie horse, but I'm actually trying to get out ahead of experiencing this during the night when I'm resting. And I'm going to be honest, I believe that the reason why I got this Charlie horse is because I'm not as hydrated as I should be. And so, of course, I had to drink some water, and that has already helped, to give some relief. So I'm massaging my ankle here. I'm just rubbing the ankle so that it can just release the tension that's, in any of the lower area here. So just gonna do that. Start just giving my ankle and lower calf here just some attention, some rubbing and massaging. It's just a little tender back here because the pain radiated up, to this area here. So just doing some rubbing here. Okay. So hopefully you can see. Just really trying to just move the circulation, get the blood going. But I'm actually going to come back to my ankle here. Because it's actually, as I mentioned, it's kind of tender up in this area. And again, it's the pain radiated. So a lot of it sort of left the foot and it's come up here. So I need to, just spend a little bit of time working this out. So I'm working the back area here, lower leg here, going into the lower calf. So, but yeah. But now I am going to spend some time. Just my toes here. Where I was having the pain initially, in a sense, the cramp started. And I believe I actually got out ahead of the cramp getting worse because I immediately started rubbing my ankle, and so things started loosening up, and so it didn't really get to accelerate the way that it could have, even though it was painful, but not as painful as it could have been. So I'm very thankful for that. So just rubbing my toes here, because what happened was, I don't know if you all, when you get Charlie horses or so, that sometimes your toes may start spreading or start bending or, or so. And so mine were starting in that direction. And I was like, okay, I got to do something here. But I still got that initial, and like I said, then it sent the pain sort of radiating, up into this area. So, yeah. So I'm just, just doing some rubbing here. Just want to make sure that the blood is circulating. But, but the most important thing, honestly, as I mentioned earlier, is really about, hydration. And though sometimes we can think that we are hydrated if we're not hydrated at the cellular level, then you can drink all the water in the world or even beverages and can still be very much dehydrated. I know that may seem like, what? So a lot of people don't know about cellular hydration, and I teach on that. I'm a hydration and nutrition coach as well. I'm certified in those areas too. And so I try to get a lot of my water intake also through foods. And celery juice is one of those. It's not a water substitute by no means, but it actually does allow you to get your daily water intake according to, quote unquote, what they say your daily water intake should be. It really is individual. It really is. You have to listen to your body, have an AM and PM schedule, for hydration. But every day you don't need the same amount, but you do have to check in. And it does depend on what your activities are, what you're eating. And then also too, sometimes when you have weather changes, especially like in this area here where the patterns can be extreme, and that can be very difficult on the body to adapt or adjust that quickly. And so sometimes you can get thrown off, in that way as well, and catch cramps, due to that. So I think mine is a combination, but I definitely will admit that today has not been a day that I have had the water intake that I should have had. So being honest and admitting that, but so yeah, so like I said, I'm just working out my toes here. I'm gonna massage my right foot, as well, but it's mainly working in here. Come back up to my ankle here and do some more massaging and twisting and rubbing. And the pain actually now is gone. Yay! It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. See, it's amazing. That little bit of work, that pain is gone, because it was actually starting to get deep in that part where I told you it radiated up there. And now it's like it's never happened. And some of that is due to not just me rubbing up here, but what I've been doing in this area. The same is when you actually rub here, what it does in this area. So much connectivity. So yeah, but I'm going to take a little bit more time, like I said, just to work it out. And depending, like I said, where your pain happens, the two areas that's really good to really work on, again, is the ankles, but the toes. Like, even if you have a cramp like right in here, it's still really good to to work these areas, and then do some pressing in here or so. But a lot of times what I find is that it's not really about working so much on the area that's having the pain. It's like working around sometimes the different areas. And that's what I'll do even when I'm working on someone is there are times where I may have to go into where there is some pain and press and have them do some deep breathing, because the energy does need to move there. But a lot of times I find that when I work around the areas, it brings a lot of relief, and it brings the stimulation of what needs to happen, what needs to take place in order for higher functionality to be ensuing, during that time. So, yeah, here I'm just working it out here. Like I said, just moving that energy, moving that blood, and I have had water, and I'm going to drink some more, so I'll probably be walking tonight. So sleep could possibly be interrupted, but it will be well worth it. And I do actually have a hydration retreat coming up soon, and I'm really excited about that. I like teaching on that, and yeah, that area, because I teach it in so many different levels, or at so many different levels. And so I normally do kind of a pre-hydration retreat for myself too. And I had that actually, scheduled, and just let me know even more so tonight that, yeah, I might need to actually include an extra day for myself in the pre. So that's feeling pretty good. I don't want to stop though, because well, it does feel good, but but I just want to make sure that I have really moved the energy quite a bit. Like I said, just really trying to get out ahead. But what I'll do is give the rest of my foot some love here too, with that ankle right in here, and then the heel. And I did say I was going to give my right foot some love, because certainly don't want a cramp jumping, over there. So here we go. I got some lotion already on that toe there. Okay. Oh wow, I'm glad I came over here, because guess what? I can feel a little something here. Let me get out ahead. And actually right in here is where I'm feeling it, So what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start on my ankle. Yep. Lower leg here. Right. Need some extra lotion on this. Extra dry today. I've mentioned also in other videos, even more recently, that the shoes that you wear, and sometimes the flooring, it plays a huge part in terms of the well-being for your feet and everything, but it just affects so many different areas. And sometimes it's not so much of something going wrong with you, the body, so to speak. Like I said, it's just that, yeah, it could be time to change up shoes. I know that's been something for me more recently, that I need to invest in not just one pair, but several pairs, of shoes. Because even the best of the shoes, you wear them quite often, they wear out. But sometimes you just need to switch up anyhow. And I've experienced that too, where a lot of times just need to change up the shoes, So, but also flooring in the houses can sink, and not the foundation can give way sometimes, and you start feeling that, even though it may not be noticeable, in terms of you being able to actually see that and witness that, but you'd be amazed what your body can pick up. So, Let me work out here a little bit more here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to bring this to a close, even though again, it's sometimes once you get started, it's kind of hard to stop. And especially if you don't feel you've worked everything out, in a sense. But for me, you know, the main thing is the foot that had Charlie horse, the cramp. It feels great. You know, there's, you know, I'll do one last check. You know, it's good. You know, he says it's just kind of this foot here. But actually, this feels good enough to stop. But do a little more ankle and lower leg, you know, rubbing, just making sure just let the blood there, and I'll be sure to get more water. Okay, well, thank you all for being with me as I have worked out the cramps and was able to spend a little extra time on giving my feet some love. So as always, you know, you can check out my publication, I Touch Myself and I Like It. There's a link in the description, and also you can learn more about me and the other works that I do for total well-being. And of course, I'm looking forward to sharing more with you in the near future. And meanwhile, just stay blessed, and here's to your well-being. Thanks for being with me.